All right. So, I've just uploaded a video where I speak about learning similar languages that, as a matter of fact, are not as similar as people think they are. And now I'm going to speak about pseudo-Italianisms, Anglicism, Francisism, Germanisms, whatever. Foreign, as I better said, words from other languages have always been moving back and forth into other languages. Uh, Back and forth into other language doesn't sound good. Has always been there's always been um, a flux of words into other languages and from other languages. That means that pure languages, that have been keeping the same roots for centuries or millennia, and the language has the same core vocabulary as 1 millennium ago, such things don't happen. Languages change for several reasons. One is wear and tear of time, a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. It's like this game. You say something into somebody's ear, and this person passes on the message to another one until you get to the last one, and you have two different messages. So there is a time thing, and people and there are rules of phonetical rules that changes all once. For example, in Greek, eta becomes eta, all the eta becomes eta, so for each and every word. So there is a, as I said, wear tear of time. Another thing is that changes language is dealings with people that speak another language, and many times a similar language, so the languages get kind of creolized, pidgin, and then creole, and then the grammar gets less complicated. I'd say that the morphology that happened in English when English got dumped the Renaissance. Just one of the reasons why is because there were Vikings invaders, Norsemen, and in order to get understood with people speaking a similar language, they had to dump a lot of anomalies or a lot of difficult things that make morphology, the way words change at the end, simple. So one reason. Another reason why languages change, that means, I said, wear term time, dealing with other languages on the grammatical level, and the third is dealing with other languages on vocabulary level. Usually, to have a change in grammar, you need to have strict and continuous dealings with another language. Okay, grammar, vocabulary changes can happen more easily because we adopt a word from another language because we need it, because for some reason maybe the word we used to use before was difficult to pronounce, not kind of awkward, and the new thing comes from those people speaking that language. The moment we use those words in our language, it's not that language anymore, it's our language, it's in our family, and from that moment on, we are not supposed to reproduce exactly the word phonetically and semantically, means the meaning, as the original language. We got something and we adopt into our language as we like. So this the idea, oh, you Italians don't use the word smoking. Smoking in English means something in Italian is a kind of cloth or suit, or flipper doesn't exist in Italian, but in English as it is in Italian. Italian is a game, in English is flippers, flip. That doesn't mean anything. Another complaint is, oh, it's not spaghetti, it's spaghetti. Okay, listen to me. An American person, the moment he uses or she uses this word, is speaking English, American English, and this person is not supposed to know how to articulate a word like Italians do. We don't do with the we don't do. I mean, when I speak English and when I speak Italian, I know English. Okay, I'm speaking English right now. If I have to pronounce an English word, except for country, that I cannot bring myself to pronounce country, except that word, that's another cuttlefish. That a mispronunciation, not because we're not able to pronounce country. We're not. I mean, Italian doesn't have the "o" sound, but you should pronounce country at least, not country. That's a mistake, due to the fact that people think that the word country is pronounced country. In that case, I can understand. Okay, you got it all wrong from the beginning. For the rest, come on, who cares if an English person or an American person rather pronounce spaghetti instead of spaghetti? Who cares if they say linguini instead of linguine, or they say fettuccine instead of fettuccine? They're speaking English, and these Italian words are part of the English language. They are in the English vocabulary, and they are pronounced according to the phonetics of that language, not to the Italian language. When I say computer or computer, American or English pronunciation, in Italian I say computer, not because I don't know English, because I'm speaking, in that moment I'm speaking Italian. So it would be very annoying for our brain to switch from one way of speaking into another way of speaking just for one word, and we should get back to the Italian system. For example, even micro things, for example, slide, what is trombone? I would say slide in Italian, I should say slide in English. Hamburger, I don't say hamburger in Italian, I say hamburger, because it's Italian. I'm speaking Italian, and that happens everywhere. Where lies the rub? When you assume that the pronunciation or the meaning of this word that you know has foreign origin when you assume that this pronunciation meaning is the same in the original language. That causes big problems. We know about false friends, and false friends sometimes are disguised loan words. And now speaking about evident, clear words that enter the language recently, or they look just foreign, like spaghetti. So I have no problem as an Italian speaker to hear cappuccino, spaghetti, fettuccine, and other things. Okay? No problem at all. Okay? As long as this doesn't enter the Italian language when English speakers speak Italian. I know there's this idea, oh, this word exists, I'm using like the same way. So if I speak English, oh, I turn my computer on, doesn't make any sense. I would say I would turn on my computer on, I wouldn't say computer. So some people make a fuss out of this thing, and that's kind of stupid. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. I don't care the way Japanese pronounce Italian words. I don't speak Japanese, and if English speakers, listen to me. Italians, I know, have problem pronouncing English, so I can assume that English speakers have problems speaking Italian. So I wouldn't expect from an English speaker, the moment he pronounces an Italian word, to pronounce it like Italians do. And to give an example, we as Italian, and also as English speakers, use a lot of Greek words. In English you have the sound and the, and okay, you can pronounce theme. Actually, in English it's thema. In Italian we say tema. I know it's tema. Partenone. Parthenonas. I don't respect Italian. It's also so accepted that it is spelled with T and not TH. Okay? When Greek speakers pronounce Italian words without double consonants, also English speakers, for example, and they use Italian last names like Pavarotti and say Pavarotti, Stalinica in Greek. Okay, I am into languages. I don't expect everybody being so concerned about languages as I am. Everybody decides in their own lives what is important and what is not important. And some language buffs are really they cross a line when they harp on the fact that, oh, this Italian words should be pronounced like this in English. No. Be focused on pronouncing well words in the language you're speaking. So if I speak English and I say spaghetti, I would say spaghetti, and in Italian say spaghetti because just I'm into the language I'm speaking, and I tend to speak as native speakers. Even if native speakers theoretically mispronounce Italian words, I don't even think that's mispronunciation, because they're pronouncing it words that have originate from the Italian language, but are not in the Italian language anymore. So once you are, when Rome, do as the Romans do. When you speak English, okay, if you're Italian and you want to say spaghetti, or you cannot bring yourself to pronouncing spaghetti, that's not a problem. But if you bust everybody's nuts, no, it should be spaghetti because in Italian spaghetti, who fucking cares? Okay? Who fucking cares? And it's also annoying. Oh, sono andato a vedere un film, ma ho scoperto che l'avevo già visto sul mio computer. Vaffanculo. Oh, yesterday I ate fettuccine and calamari. Not calamari, calamari. Fuck! It's in English, you don't say calamari because it's fucking English. So, Anglicisms, whatever. You don't know. People who say these things don't know fuck about how languages work. Okay? And they say a lot of people who open their mouths and speak about languages and they don't know shit about, from the linguistic point of view. They haven't read a book, a fucking book about languages, and they know they can speak about languages, okay? The more you know about languages, the more you understand. This is a huge topic that involves history, psychology, sociology, even anatomy, everything. So when you speak about long words, people think that you're supposed to speak exactly like in the original language. That is not going to happen. I can understand sometimes there has been a mistake at the beginning. So for example, west, we say ovest and we should say west, but once it's like this in a language, it's like this. Languages are kind of, it's a convention, it's not something rooted in reality. This doesn't change anything if you're eating spaghetti or spaghetti. It's not a change in meaning, it's just a change in the sound. And everything is conventional in languages, most of what you hear. Otherwise, you will use the same language all over the world. You can say gatto, gata, cat, cats, or kedi, like in Turkish, always a cat. It's always a cat with different names. So all this fuss about pronouncing English words the way, it's a kind of snobbish, kind of upper class. I want hors d'oeuvre, an omelette, Chateau Briand au vin de combat, ramisso, totalinica, ramisso. I speak Greek, not perfectly, quite good. So when I use Greek words in Italian, oh, sono stato ad Athena. What the fuck, Athena? In Greek, πήγα in Athena. Εντάξει, είναι ελληνικά. Καλά. Όταν μιλάς Ιταλικά, συγγνώμη, μιλώ άλλη γλώσσα τώρα. I was speaking Greek. It's so natural to me. The point is, you should pronounce words the way they are supposed to be pronounced in the language you speak. Once a word The only exception, and when on the radio they used to read, for example, the speaker said, we are about to listen to Camille Saint-Saëns, okay, or they tend to the speaker to pronounce the composers the right way, and okay, that's the only exception, and they are trained to do that. Other exception, and when there's no word in your original language, and you, for example, are in Plymouth, okay, you can say Plymouth, and not Plymouth. Okay, that it's an exception. So if there's no word in your original language for this town, try to imitate the original language pronunciation if there is a matching sound in your original language. So if it's Plymouth, maybe you can say Plymouth, not Plymouth. Okay, if you catch my drift. There are some exceptions, but these are people who work using languages. They are speakers, but if you go to London and you're Italian, London, Italian is Londra, so you say sono a Londra, you won't say sono a London, okay, or London. That's my piece of advice. The fact you know another language and you know words from in this original language that are also used in your native language, that doesn't allow you or doesn't give you reason to be pedantic and scholarly towards other people who don't know the other language and they pronounce this word like everybody does. I'll give you an example. I'm learning Turkish. It's Istanbul. I'm not busting people nuts in Italian who say Istanbul or Istanbul. Oh, it's Istanbul. Or Izmir. Oh, it's Izmir. It's not Izmir. Oh, kiss a fuck. Not. We pronounce. For example, Erdogan. It's Erdogan. Okay? It's Erdogan. This G with a kind of accent on top. Like. It's not pronounced anymore. So you should say Erdogan. Who cares? Okay, it's not difficult to say Erdogan, but if people say Erdogan, and well, it's like this. So I'd say that's not a big problem. Stay focused on pronouncing well the words in the original language. If they exist in your language and now you know the way they're pronouncing in the original language, that's not an excuse to bother other people with your knowledge. Goodbye.